A top-tier celebrity goddess is my childhood friend, and she says she's run out of body wash and wants to shower at my place. Just then, I receive a call from her rumored boyfriend from a live variety show. What's sister doing? I freeze on the spot. The next second, my childhood friend, completely unaware, shouts from the bathroom, Ji-young, why isn't this body wash my favorite strawberry scent? The internet explodes. So it turns out the usually elegant and noble goddess, known for keeping her distance from men, has been secretly harboring a young puppy love. Main text: I'm pulling the curtains closed while secretly watching White Yaya's latest TV drama on my phone when there's a knock at the door. Opening it, the leading lady who is just being pursued by male leads 1 through 4 in the drama is standing there in a loose pink slip dress, her black hair flowing freely, holding a bundle of towels while raising an eyebrow at me. I quietly swallow and hide my phone behind my back, frowning as I ask, why are you dressed like this coming to see me? White Yaya is my childhood friend. We've known each other since we were in diapers. When we were young, I treated her like one of the guys to hang out with. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, she'd become the dream girl of 900 million young men. Since then, whenever we go out, I no longer dare to casually drape my arm around her neck or tease her about her short legs. I'm afraid of her 900 million fans. Even if each one only spat once, they could drown me. If White Yaya knew I was watching her TV drama, I can't imagine how deafening her mockery would be. White Yaya tilts her head, notices my dark house, and says with a meaningful smile, someone inside. Am I interrupting? I nervously glare at her, making a move to wrap her in the towel. She smirks and pushes out her chest slightly. Isn't my figure good enough? The next moment, my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest. After all, having a goddess at my doorstep, who could remain completely calm, she pinches my waist, and while I'm wincing in pain, she squeezes into the house. I'm out of body wash at home, so I'm coming to shower at your place. You don't mind, right? I follow behind her shouting. You wouldn't buy more shower gel when it's finished? The supermarket at the entrance closed down. Me. It's clearly still open and doing fine. Could she come up with a more outrageous excuse? Yaya was quick, slamming the bathroom door shut, turning on the shower, and began washing while humming a song. I breathed a sigh of relief, put my phone on the table, and turned to wash her strawberries. She always jokes that I block her love life, and then until she finds a boyfriend, I absolutely, positively have to wash strawberries for her by hand, or else she'll break my dog legs. Suddenly, the phone rang, and without thinking, I answered. Sister, what are you doing? A sticky, sweet male voice came from the other end of the line. It's been so long since I saw you, sister. I miss you so much. In just these 2 short sentences, I unconsciously added a wavy tone to the end of each. The next second, I suddenly realized I had accidentally picked up the wrong phone. Because both Yaya and I had the newest pineapple phone model, and when she bought her phone case, she got a buy one get one free deal and casually gave me one. I wasn't paying attention and had just happened to answer her phone. I glanced at Yaya, still humming in the bathroom, and casually explained, Yaya is showering. Why don't you call back in a little while? Showering? Who are you? How are you in her house? The other party anxiously threw out a series of 3 soul-searching questions. How am I supposed to explain this? I scratched my head. Just as I was thinking, Yaya's voice came from the bathroom. Ji-young, why isn't the shower gel my favorite strawberry flavor? I hurriedly put down my phone. Why did you change the shower gel to honeydew flavor? You little rascal. You've grown bold, actually replacing my sacred, inviolable strawberry scent. This is sacrilege. Yaya, with a head full of foam, poked her head out of the bathroom, her small face flushed with steam. I unconsciously coughed lightly and rummaged through the cabinet for a new bottle of strawberry shower gel, intending to pass it to her through the door crack. Unexpectedly, Yaya rolled her eyes and huffed. Ji-young, are you doing this on purpose? Trying to peek at me again? My cheeks instantly burned. What do you mean again? That was only once. Okay. Besides, I wasn't even peeking. The summer after high school graduation, we went on a graduation trip with classmates. The girl sharing a room with her suddenly knocked, saying Yaya might have fainted in the bathroom. I didn't even have time to put on shoes before I rushed over. Turns out, Yaya had just fallen asleep because she was enjoying her bath too much. In that moment of eye contact, I thought she was going to tear me to pieces, even planning where I'd be buried in the next life and the life after that. But Yaya, who usually called me bro and was incredibly arrogant in front of me, blushed and ran out wrapped in a bath towel. The memory resurfaced, and it turned out that Yaya always thought I did it on purpose. She still remembered it so clearly after all these years. I wouldn't be outdone and retorted. Yaya, there's nowhere on you I haven't seen. She reached out to take the shower gel, her lotus-white arms covered in water droplets, and then used the foam to smear my face. Are you looking for trouble? I shook my head frantically. After all, she still had photos of me wearing a dress as a child saved on her phone. Yaya nodded my chin with satisfaction and went back into the bathroom to continue being a shower singer. When she came out wrapped in a bath towel, I tossed my phone to her and said, "Your good little brother just called looking for you. He also said that I'm up to something. Clearly you're the one who's got a younger guy on the side. When are we drinking the wedding wine?" Yaya checked her call history while glancing at me. "I'm single. I'm just beautiful on my own." She casually flipped her undried hair, a few droplets of water trickling down her chest and into her towel. She carelessly tossed her phone aside and unceremoniously picked up a strawberry, eating it with juice dripping down her face. "Aren't you going to call back?" "Not convenient. I'll call later." My heart tightened instantly. Is it because I'm here that she doesn't find it convenient to call back? Judging by the voice, that guy sounded a lot like the male lead from the drama we were watching. Their scandal was all over the internet. We were sitting on the sofa, the faint strawberry scent from her filling the air around my nose, when Yaya suddenly leaned in. "Have you seen the new drama I filmed?" I instinctively opened my mouth to say no, but she raised an eyebrow at me. I shook my head frantically. If she found out I had watched every single one of her works, she'd probably laugh at me in my grave even after I was dead. Am I especially pretty in the drama? The male lead, second lead, third lead, and fourth lead all like me. I wonder if you... Seeing that Yaya was about to press her entire face against mine, my breathing suddenly stopped, and I said dryly, "I haven't seen it. How would I know?" The next second, she burst out laughing while holding her stomach. "Ji-young, I tricked you again. Aren't you silly?" I was scared to death. For a moment, I thought she had discovered my secret. It turned out she was just joking with me. I breathed a sigh of relief. In the blink of an eye, Yaya was holding my phone, teasingly saying, "Wouldn't we know if we looked at the viewing history?" I hadn't even let out that sigh of relief when the next breath was already caught in my throat. I quickly reached out with one hand to hold her face and tried to grab my phone with the other. Her arms were not as long as mine, and she was flailing about in the air. Short legs are just short legs. Unexpectedly, she stuck out her tongue and quickly licked my palm. Taking advantage of my moment of distraction, she immediately pushed me down onto the sofa. I felt the dampness on my palm as she pressed her entire body against me, our breaths intermingling. I couldn't help but turn my head away, avoiding eye contact with her. "Short legs, are you trying to take advantage of me?" Her hair brushed my neck, tickling me. Just as I was about to lose patience and get up to push her away, the door was kicked open with a bang. "Yaya, I knew you were at Ji Yang's place. You're trending on Hot SE Dash." Manager Wang Ping came in shouting at the top of her lungs, but when she saw us tangled up on the sofa, she let out a sharp shriek. You. In broad daylight. In the bright world." Taking the opportunity, I snatched back my phone and quickly explained to the manager. She was checking my phone. I was just taking it back. Yaya tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear and glanced at me lightly. "Yeah, I was checking up on him." Sister Wang's suspicious gaze darted back and forth between the two of us, before she plopped down between me and Yaya, and whispered to her, "Finally got him?" "Got who?" "Got the male lead 1, 2, 3, or 4. Or the clingy little guy who just called." I was pricking up my ears, ready to listen, when Yaya stepped on my foot hard while smiling a fake smile at her manager. "Unless Ji-young is dead, there's no reason for you to disturb us right now." Sister Wang rolled her eyes at Yaya, then opened her phone screen. "Yaya, you're trending." Wasn't Yaya always trending? Was it really necessary for Sister Wang to come all the way here because of this? The next second, I spotted the word explosion on the screen, followed by the search term, Yaya harboring a young pup. My heart sank. Was I right after all? I couldn't help but increase the tone of my voice and question Yaya. "When did you betray our revolutionary friendship?" "I didn't. I'm not. I'm happily single." Sister Wang rolled her eyes at me again and scrolled down the phone screen. "Younger, you're a dog." "Wait, what? Why are you cursing people?" Only after Sister Wang opened the trending topic did I realize that the call earlier was from the popular young actor Oh Hao-chin. At the time, he was participating in a live variety show, and the program team asked him to call a friend on the spot and say, "I miss you" to them. Oh Hao-chin was the male lead in the drama, and the other guests were teasing him. Is it definitely Yaya who Hao-chin is friends with? She's usually so taciturn. I wonder if she will say more to Hao-chin? Huh. Oh Hao-chin then cleared his throat, causing the audience to flood the screen with Yaya. He was half pushed and half willingly pressured by the guests and entered Yaya's number. And then what I experienced just happened. The phone rang. Oh Hao-chin held the phone tightly, nervously, and the guests held their breath. The call was answered, and he said his line with deep affection, "I miss you," causing the host and the entire guest panel to scream in surprise. Then, my voice came from the receiver saying that Yaya was in the shower. The barrage of comments immediately went crazy, with question marks flooding the screen. What? Was that a man's voice just now? What did he say? Yaya is in the shower? Is this something I should be hearing? Is my goddess secretly keeping a dog at home? The next second, Yaya's voice came through the phone, complaining that I had changed her body wash, and the barrage went completely berserk. Ji-young. Who is Ji-young? Even her body wash scent is so clear, their relationship must be extraordinary. Just watching a variety show, and my goddess is already being licked by a dog. But speaking of which, I also want to see the goddess take a shower. The entire screen was crammed with various comments, and then came an even more shocking scene. I had not even had time to hang up the phone, and it was not until Yaya angrily scolded me for peeking at her showering that Oh Hao-chan hung up the phone in a panic. Although he explained with a long face that he had dialed the wrong number, the audience watching clearly did not believe it. What is the goddess doing? This must be some lover's fun. Can't believe it, the goddess is so playful in private. What cold and aloof goddess. The host quickly smoothed things over, but the call interface was clearly being broadcast on the large screen. The contact was named by Yaya, and her unique, clear, and cold voice was hard to find elsewhere in the entertainment industry. The host announced that it was time for commercials next, and the live broadcast was abruptly cut off. Although the live stream ended quickly, Yaya's name shot up to the trending topics within minutes. Hashtag Yaya hiding puppy, hashtag Yaya stalking boyfriend, hashtag Yaya goddess actually loves strawberry body wash. Looking at these trending topics, I was completely in the dark until I finally understood that the dog's sister Wong mentioned was me. In this online celebration that all netizens were participating in, I was the only one deemed unworthy of having a name. Among the comments were many fans of Yaya and Oh Hao-chan's ship furiously cursing. After all, their TV drama was currently popular, with everyone shipping the cold female executive and the shy puppy-like character. Many fans even believed they were dating in real life. Oh Hao-chan had subtly posted some sweet daily interactions and said suggestive things during variety shows. Now Yaya and I were being painted as the third party and the unfaithful woman. I pressed my lips together. Yaya, I think I said the wrong thing earlier. Yaya lay on the sofa, carelessly mumbling with a strawberry in her mouth. Oh Hao-chan's the one who said the wrong things. What does it have to do with you? I looked questioningly at the manager. Sister Wong slapped her thigh angrily. That Oh Hao-chan is always trying to create a shipping narrative, riding on our Yaya's popularity. Even if it wasn't trending with you today, he'd make it trend with himself. Instead of working on his acting skills, he relies on these rumors for attention. Oof. I nodded as if I understood, but then wondered if this would affect Yaya's career. Well, Yaya's at that age anyway. Rather than let some strange dog take a bite, might as well let a familiar dog do it. At least we can rest easy. Sister Wong raised her eyebrows at Yaya. This is a good chance to make your relationship official. I can finally give your parents an answer. Hearing the words, make relationship official, my heart started pounding, and I slowly shifted my gaze away. Yaya seemed to be observing my expression, then said jokingly, we'll talk about it later. Without a diamond rose ring, I won't agree. I followed with a dry laugh. Right. The manager sighed, contacting staff to see how to handle the current situation while consulting Yaya for her input. I silently scrolled through the trending topics but kept feeling their gazes shifting to me. Finally, they decided to appear as surprise guests and video call into the variety show that had just finished streaming. Now for the final surprise. With all the segments concluded, the host excitedly held up a rolled-up poster. Immediately, the large screen behind the guests switched to a video call with Yaya. Hello everyone, I'm Yaya. Yaya, who was beside him, had already applied her full makeup. She sat upright on the sofa, completely unlike the relaxed figure who was just curled up eating strawberries. Instead, she carried an aura that made it clear that strangers should keep their distance. The guests on stage waved to Yaya. The next second, I squeezed next to her and also waved at the camera. Hey everyone, I'm Ji-young. I smiled awkwardly. Yaya raised an eyebrow unintentionally. The guests immediately widened their eyes and began to ask questions all at once. Yaya, is this your boyfriend? He's my childhood friend. I just ran out of body wash at home, so I came to his place to borrow a shower. The guests, who never missed an opportunity for a good time, continued to ask, did the supermarket go out of business? Well, the official commentary was the most deadly. But Yaya just tilted her neck slightly and lightly brushed past the question. Next, the two of us started randomly answering some questions from the guests. I can understand a childhood friend stopping by, but the mistaken phone call is too far-fetched, isn't it? Yaya said expressionlessly. The phone cases were buy one get one free. I gave him the extra one. The phones look the same, so it's normal to pick up the wrong one. I nodded in agreement. How does Ji-young know that Yaya likes strawberry-scented body wash? That's too personal. Yaya smoothed her hair and said, as childhood friends, we have more personal things than that. I continued to nod. Who knew that to verify the purity of our revolutionary friendship, the guest asked me and Yaya to do a hold back your laughter game. We each took a mouthful of water and then stared at each other. If we laughed within 30 seconds, we lost, and the guest could give us a punishment. I took a mouthful of water and looked at Yaya, whose cheeks were puffed up. When we were in elementary school, Yaya grew taller than me and ate more than me. She would often freeload at my house. She was just like she was now, her mouth stuffed full, and she would joke that she was going to be my daughter-in-law so she could eat braised pork every day. Thinking about how she used to get close to me, smearing oil from her mouth all over me, I couldn't help but laugh. And then I sprayed water all over Yaya's face. Yaya was stunned for 2 seconds, then silently swallowed the water in her mouth. She then reached out and pinched my cheek. Ji-young, do you want to die? While I was frantically wiping the water off Yaya, the chat was about to explode the screen. I have finally become the most insignificant part of this play. Am I some cheap thing? Do I have to see this? Childhood sweethearts ultimately win over all challengers. Look at Yaya's eyes. They're definitely not clear. And she directly went for a pinch, the cheek kill. Her earlobes are red. My goddess is OOC. My dream has been shattered. At this time, Oh Houchin suddenly put his face close to the video camera and frowned with tension and said, Yaya, are you okay? Is the water cold? Quickly change your clothes. I'll bring you some cold medicine tonight. The water I sprayed hadn't even had time to soak in her clothes before I wiped it off. Besides, she wouldn't catch a cold after such a big splash of water after a shower. This concern was too excessive, right? Before the host could smooth things over, Yaya had already said sternly, no, I'm not used to having ordinary colleagues come to my house. Besides, Ji-young is here. Okay. After Yaya said that, our relationship was even more confusing. The chat went crazy again. I knew that Yaya didn't like Oh Houchin. It turns out that he was trying to get with her. The person herself said it, just ordinary colleagues. If you have bad acting skills, you should not be trying to use the CP thing to become famous. You've been slapped in the face now. They always manufacture artificial sweetness. Yaya declares O Houchin es ridículos. Isn't it better to go for the real childhood sweethearts? Didn't you guys notice the key point? The key point is that there's a dog. When was he there? Where was he? I'm going to camp out under their bed tonight. Save a spot for me upstairs. Same here. Seeing that the chat wouldn't calm down anytime soon, the host suggested that we continue with me and Yaya's punishment, asking us to show the audience the latest photo in each of our phone albums. I gripped my phone, my heart pounding, because the latest photo saved in my phone was a still from one of Yaya's dramas, where she was wearing a white school uniform and waving at the screen in the sunlight, just like the way I knew her. Yaya glanced at me, perhaps seeing my tension, and smiled at the video screen. To protect the ordinary folks, let's just look at mine. Her photo was of several ordinary sunflowers. A rush of heat rose to my earlobes, because I knew that those sunflowers were the ones I had given her a few days ago. What did she mean by this? The live stream ended, and before I could ask Yaya what the photo meant, the trending topics exploded again. Yaya said on the live stream that I was an ordinary person, but a large social media influencer dug up that I have a social media account with tens of thousands of followers. What childhood sweethearts, I think this is a script. Do people still believe in pure love stories these days? Not having shower gel and borrowing a bathroom and accidentally answering a phone call, this little internet celebrity's desire to climb the ladder is too obvious. I have to say, this Ji-young is really good at acting. He even pretends to be unaccustomed to the camera. Even Oh Houchin would have to applaud him. It's true, I do have a social media account. Because my main job is as a computer programmer, I like to post some code when I have free time. Only a few videos accidentally showed my face. If that can be considered an internet celebrity, then the intelligence of this generation of netizens is truly questionable. I continued to browse the comments under the trending topic hashtags. Now, it seems anyone wants to be famous, they don't even look at the script they wrote. It's like an elementary school student's writing, exactly. If you don't have shower gel, just buy some. Shouldn't a domineering CEO's house have an 8,000-acre supermarket? I'd say the screenwriter still isn't bold enough. Even if they are childhood sweethearts, they should avoid each other when they're this old, still sharing a bathroom and making their physical relationships sound so beautiful. It's disgusting. Isn't Yaya always pretending to be a cold and aloof goddess? In the end, she's still ending up with a male internet celebrity, another celebrity downfall. He is my childhood sweetheart. If he's a real childhood sweetheart, how could he only be exposed now? He's really good at hiding. The most pitiful is Oh Houchin being labeled as a man who is going after a woman with money. His concern is being called ordinary colleague, poor brother. Meanwhile, my social media account's unread messages were directly at 999 plus, full of all kinds of unbearable insults. If you're a man, don't always think about riding a woman's fame. Going out to do construction is better than being a gigolo. You treacherous bitch, harming my idol. Why don't you just go die? Even the code that I had painstakingly posted for years was reported and taken down. In the middle of the night, I tossed and turned in bed, unable to fall asleep. Is this the power of keyboard warriors? Suddenly, my phone screen lit up. Houchin had tagged me on social media. I will cherish everything in the show. Outside of the show, please take good care of my sister. The post was accompanied by a grid of 9 photos, 18 shots of him crying. To push this at me in the middle of the night, it's really vicious. Especially since he pulled his collar so low, the shape of his abs was faintly visible. Naturally, the comments from his fans were filled with sympathy. Yaya doesn't like you, she's blind. I love you. I love you. Houchin. We will protect your chest muscles from now on, brother. No, these photos that could clearly be made into reaction images reeked of ulterior motives. Why are his fans acting wrong? The comment section also had a chaotic mix of Yaya's fans and Houchin's fans. Look, our sister just said the truth, and your brother is acting like this. Has some Yaya's fans' mouth been pickled for years? So flavorful? No matter how much you defend her, isn't our goddess being chewed on by a dog? I think Ji Young and our sister are a better match. Much easier on the eyes than a manipulative schemer. Is Ji Young your ancestor? He's obviously just a gigolo that sleeps around, yet you speak so highly of him. The rest of the comments were even more offensive. I took a deep breath, wondering how Yaya was doing. She should be asleep by now, this late. I shoved my phone under my pillow, planning to sleep until dawn and ask her about it tomorrow. The next morning, I opened my phone to find my social media accounts flooded with 999 plus unread messages. I was about to shove the phone back and go back to sleep, but then I saw that Yaya had also tagged me last night. Her post was only 40 minutes after Houchin's. Her post was concise, just 3 words: true childhood friend. The 9-grid photo included one of me as a child forced to wear a dress while she was laughing so hard you could see her tonsils. One of us after middle school graduation where she jumped on my back, pulling at my hair, and another from high school graduation where she was standing next to me in a short-sleeved shirt, smiling brightly. And in the middle was that photo of the sunflowers. Each picture reminded me of every little thing from the past. The comment section below was also full of comments from netizens. OMG, she even has those old embarrassing photos of you in a dress. They're definitely true childhood friends. Some of you are just thinking dirty. Can't there be some pure love in the entertainment industry? This is the fastest post I've ever seen from Sister Ya. When it comes to true love, a goddess has to be brave and be her true self, instantly turning into a goofball. Who gets it? Don't you ship this ice queen and the innocent puppy CP? Yaya didn't delete any of these playful comments. She even pinned one to the top and replied, "Pinned. Is it just me, or did anyone else notice those sunflowers? There's definitely a story behind it. Yaya. The puppy gave them to me." This ambiguous and suggestive reply caused netizens to speculate even more wildly about our relationship, and Yaya even replied to a few more. Netizen: "What? I want to hear the details." Yaya: "The end." Netizen: "Why didn't she just buy her own body wash? Why did she have to use the puppies?" Yaya: "Save what needs saving, spend what needs spending." Netizen: "True childhood friends? Why are they just coming out now? They're definitely actors in a script." Yaya: "Programmer 007." This programmer felt offended. And what was with that somewhat resentful tone? Soon, everyone found Yaya's alt account through my comment section. An account named Short-Legged Duck had liked every single one of my posts and would occasionally reply in the middle of the night with, "Are you working overtime? Are you balding? Have you dropped dead?" It was a far cry from Yaya's public image as a cold and alluring goddess. My private messages were also flooded with her fans' well wishes. "Working will kill you. You should just go home and take care of my sister." This programmer was feeling a little chilled. At this point, the overall direction of online sentiment completely reversed. It went from feeling sorry for Houchin's one-sided love to hoping that brother Ji Young, the puppy, would go home early from work. Although Houchin was keeping quiet and pretending to be dead, the comments under his 9-grid crying photos started to get overrun. A 10,000-like comment. 3-person stories are too crowded, brother Houchin. You should just take your pecs and go. Sister Wang quickly followed up by posting a high school graduation photo and a lawyer's letter. In the graduation photo, everyone looked innocent and young. Though the image was blurry, Yaya still stood out beautifully. I stood behind her, pinching her ear, while she laughed freely and vibrantly, full of youth, just like a little sprite. My goddess is still a goddess, even when pixelated. Who would have thought? Yaya seems to be enjoying it. Before, when an actor just touched her hair during collaboration, she coldly avoided him. This is what we call being pure as jade. Even the goddess's hair belongs to her childhood friend. Other dogs can't touch. I hadn't really noticed this before, but during our usual playful interactions, there was always physical contact with Yaya, and she would even actively put her hand on my waist and massage it. She claimed she was checking the quality for my future girlfriend. I would then take the opportunity to lift her up, letting her kick around in the air until she begged for mercy and admitted her mistake. There was also a public account that released a deep dive post. Is Yaya's childhood friend real or fake? In the post, an insider revealed, I was in the same grade as YY in high school. She was truly beautiful, and everyone knew she had a childhood friend by her side, the kind who knew her since they were in split pants. YY's personality back then was quite similar to now, a nice beauty, but around her childhood friend, she was completely different. They were always together during classes and after school. Though they called each other brothers, basically no one believed it. How could there be pure friendship between men and women? Gossip. YY didn't have any pursuers in high school. Do you know why? Though I wonder if YY still cares about her childhood friend now that she's in entertainment. In the comments, fans were exclaiming about Yaya's gap mo, wanting us to be together forever, while others questioned the authenticity of the source, demanding to see graduation certificates. Only my mind was stuck, pondering the words from the post. If Yaya was so beautiful, why didn't anyone pursue her in high school? Before high school, Yaya always dressed like a tomboy. After entering high school, she suddenly changed, growing out her hair and surprisingly wearing dresses. From winter to summer, when she switched to short sleeves, her figure became curvy. My former buddy, who used to hang out with me, now had her desk stuffed with love letters. Her desk was filled with cola and small bread, and during basketball class, teammates would unconsciously whistle at her while dunking. I finally realized Yaya was different from before. While our classmates who stayed up late studying had sallow complexions and dark circles, she remained fair and fresh, like a white radish freshly pulled from the ground. I started teasing her, asking if she would forget about her brother once she had multiple suitors. Yaya rolled her eyes then, saying men were like clothes, but I was her forever puppy. Then, overnight, all her pursuers disappeared. I joked that maybe it was because she was too fierce that no one dared to pursue her anymore. After hearing this, she twisted my ear, saying she was staying pure for her future boyfriend. At that time, I didn't dare tell her that I was secretly pleased. Although I couldn't say if it was love, I enjoyed the time spent with Yaya, and selfishly hoped she could only be with me. Later, we graduated from high school. After graduating high school, I chose to study abroad in the United States, while she was scouted during her freshman year and officially entered the entertainment industry. In the foreign nights, my feelings for Yaya became increasingly clear, and I desperately wished to return to her side, even if just to be near her. During this time, I was burning the midnight oil in foreign libraries, grinding away at my papers, while she slowly became a household name as a major star. Upon graduation, I received numerous offers from internationally renowned internet companies, but I rejected them all because I only wanted to return and see her. I remember it was her who picked me up from the airport that day. As soon as we met, she rushed over, her nose red, and said, "Why didn't you bring back a foreign wife for me to see?" She squeezed into my arms, tilted her head up. I just teased her. "None are as good as my big star." Yaya's voice seemed to carry a sob. "Then why did you leave for so many years? If you hadn't come back, I would have." She didn't continue, but my heart pounded the moment I saw her. Later, although she moved next door to me, I was no longer as comfortable as before when spending time with her. Because I had other intentions, I wanted to be with her, to be her boyfriend. Now seeing the overwhelming online comments, I was afraid that my little secret would no longer be hidden. If she found out that I had liked her for a long time, would she leave my world forever? And we wouldn't even be friends anymore? Just then, her agent called again. "Younger, I'm telling you, are you going to do anything or not? Yura is practically feeding herself to your mouth. Why don't you just take a bite?" If you'd been more insightful in high school and realized your good intentions, your son would be old enough to run errands now. What does that mean? Yaya likes me too? The woman on the other end, Sister Wong, shrieked, "You're a real dog. Otherwise, why do you think no one suddenly gave Yaya love letters overnight? It's because she's been keeping herself for you." So, back then, that sentence, Yaya was saying it to me? I scrolled through the 10 gigabytes of photos of Yaya on my phone, lost in contemplation of the past. Back then, Bayaya and I were strolling aimlessly on the track when several boys suddenly walked towards us. I remembered they were the ones who had whistled at Bayaya on the court before and even openly confessed their feelings from the rostrum. I took a good look at them. Well, they weren't that handsome. Their noses weren't as high as mine. They were shorter than me, and even their chest muscles were poorly developed. I lifted my head triumphantly. As the boys passed by us, I heard snippets of their conversation. Too fierce. Jealous, right? Is it really necessary? I glanced at Bayaya next to me, convinced that it was because she was usually too aloof, pouring cold water on these pursuers. So I began to lecture her not to be so fierce. Bayaya, while proclaiming her intention to remain chaste, took my hand and walked circles around the track until there wasn't a single student around us. Now, thinking about it, I wonder if I missed a key point from the start. I want to know the answer. So I picked up my phone, found the pinned WeChat contact. Short-legged duck, are you coming home tonight? Yeah, wait for me tonight, I have something to tell you, came the almost instantaneous reply. I smiled and typed a few words. Perfect, I have something to tell you too. That night, I heard the sound of the door next to my room opening, and I followed her in. The next second, I quickly backed out, my face burning red. Bayaya was taking off her clothes to change into her pajamas. Even if it was just for a moment, I still saw her smooth back, her more curvy figure than in her student days, and that which was hidden by her dark hair. My heart was pounding hard, and I couldn't help but yell. Didn't you know I was coming in? Yeah, I did. Then why? Why? Were you changing clothes? I'm changing clothes in my own house. What's the problem? In an instant, I just wanted to facepalm and smile bitterly. If it were another man who walked in, they wouldn't have backed out like me. A few minutes later, she walked to the door in her slippers, raising an eyebrow, gesturing for me to come in. Is the matter resolved? Are you not being chased and cursed by fans anymore? Bayaya handed me a box of strawberries. I took the strawberries and went into the kitchen to wash them. I'm amazing, right? Hurry up and thank your benefactor. Actually, you didn't have to post that picture of me in a dress. Knowing she was about to say something ridiculous again, I quickly stuffed a strawberry into her mouth. Even though I had prepared myself at home, when I actually stood in front of Bayaya, I became cautious again. I silently pulled out my phone and searched for confessing to a crush. The comments below were all uniform. The person you like doesn't like you. If they don't take the initiative, they don't love you. If you love them, how can you bear to let them pine for you? I unconsciously swallowed. Is that so? I also noticed a sharp-eyed comment. I bet among the people searching this topic, there's definitely Bayaya's clueless childhood friend. Everyone else was answering the question properly. Why was this person so outstanding? Below was a comment with 10,000 likes. Tell the dog, pounce on her, forcibly kiss her, and see if Bayaya will push him away. I held my breath, unconsciously gripping my phone tighter. Was I really going to be this direct? The next second, a fair finger tapped my screen, giving that comment a red like. My mind instantly exploded. Bayaya had been right next to me, and I hadn't even noticed. And she even used my account to like it. This planet can't hold me anymore. Bayaya looked at me with a smile. Just do what the comment says. See if I'll push you away. Am I not taking the initiative? If you love her, how can you bear to let her pine for you? My brain buzzed, like countless fireworks were going off. And then, as if possessed, I lowered my head and kissed Bayaya. Then, I gently released her. The next second, Bayaya hooked her arm around my neck, kissing me back again, even nibbling on my lower lip without any skill. I don't know how long it lasted, but finally we broke apart. Her cheeks were flushed, and she whispered, "Aren't you going to offer yourself to me?" I nodded. I'm all yours." She happily jumped on my back, grabbing my hair and shouting, "This is Bayaya's." Her hand slid down to my cheek. "This is Bayaya's." Then it slid to my chest, and she pinched it. "This is Bayaya's too." Although the atmosphere was great, you were still you, Bayaya. I gritted my teeth, letting Bayaya set me on fire all over, until I carried her into the bedroom and closed the door. The next morning, as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Bayaya curled up in my arms, blinking her big eyes at me. So, she had always liked me. So, we had been in love with each other all along. As we gazed at each other, she suddenly buried her head under the covers and mumbled, "Finally, my dream has come true." Those words sounded suspicious. I unceremoniously dug her out from under the covers and asked, "What really happened in high school?" Bayaya suddenly blushed and turned her back to me, facing me with the back of her head. "I was afraid if you knew people were pursuing me, you'd lose interest in me, so I told them you were my boyfriend, and because we couldn't date openly in school, we could only meet in private, and I also said you were very jealous. Wouldn't even let me look at male dogs for too long, and if anyone confessed to me, you would." I smiled calmly. So this was the key piece of the puzzle. Although I wanted to stuff her back under the covers, I maintained my composure and asked, I would what? You would break their legs? No wonder those boys back then whispered about how fierce. No wonder fewer and fewer people wandered around the playground. Insert manual smile here. Seeing that I hadn't spoken, Yaya turned around and asked cautiously, Are you angry? I shook my head. If I had known years ago that I already had the title of Yaya's boyfriend, I definitely wouldn't have waited until now to exercise my rights. Your smile looks dangerous. She pressed her lips together. Good that you know, because I have years to make up for. In the afternoon, we were awakened by Sister Wang's phone call. Her sharp voice came through the speaker. It's trending again. Deal with it yourselves. Apparently, the comment that Yaya had liked using my account last night had been discovered. My social media comment section was completely flooded. Bro, you actually searched for topics on confessing to a crush? How did it go? Did it work out? At Yaya, the whole world knows your dog has a crush on you. Actually, I only care if this bro pounced. Did he force a kiss? Not a peep all night. Judging by this time, the dog is either still in bed or already been tossed into a ditch. I hesitated, unsure how to handle this. After all, Yaya was a public figure, and an inappropriate reply might affect her. The next second, Yaya snatched my phone away and posted an update on my account. Didn't push away. This is Yaya. The comments instantly exploded. Aw, my goddess. Why aren't you being more reserved? Did the dog get you that easily? Yaya is using the dog's phone? They were together last night? All night. Come kill me, and let's get this party started for my queen and her dog. I declare, pure love literature is the best today. Yaya then handed me her phone, raising an eyebrow as a signal. On her social media account, I posted the still photo from my phone. Live variety show game challenge, the latest photo in my album. This is Ji Young. The main text is over. Extra Chapter 1. Yaya's new drama started filming, where she plays a noble queen. I brought a few boxes of strawberries to visit the set. From afar, I saw Yaya in a tight-fitting cheongsam with 10-centimeter high heels and her long black hair pulled up into a bun. She radiated a queenly aura of keep your distance. When she caught sight of me, she disregarded her high heels and stumbled over, throwing herself into my arms. My good puppy, you came to see mommy? I wanted to smack her on the head, but considering the snickering gazes of the people around us, I secretly suppressed the urge. She dragged me into her trailer. As soon as we were inside, she clung to me, muttering, These heels are so high. I'm so tired. I looked at her swollen ankles and carefully helped her take off her shoes. A little blow, and it won't hurt, I said with a worried tone, blowing a few breaths on them. The next second, Yaya shoved her foot down my collar, raising her eyebrows. Call me your majesty. I laughed and through the fabric, held her foot which was pressed against my chest. Your majesty, let me massage your feet. Is your back sore? Shall I massage it for you? Tonight, how about I properly serve you? Extra Chapter 1. There were no hero saves the damsel moments. We just grew closer and closer. In middle school, I didn't know what beauty was. I dressed like a tomboy all the time, calling him brother and laughing with him. Until graduation day, a girl secretly called me to the stairwell, her face flushed, and asked me to help her give Ji Young a love letter. I looked at the girl's long hair and short skirt and was immediately lost in thought. Ji Young was no longer that little kid shorter than me. Now, he could call me Shorty and make the girl scream on the basketball court. So I was scared. I was afraid Ji Young would agree to her, and I even darkly thought about throwing the love letter away. I knew what that terrifying possessiveness meant. I like him. Fortunately, in the end, Ji Young didn't care and said that having a brother like me was enough. Starting in high school, I grew my hair long, wore short skirts, and even intentionally made physical contact with Ji Young. Who knew that this dumb dog would be so oblivious and even happily help me choose which suitor was better? So I told those suitors that Ji Young was my boyfriend, and I also spread some little gossip about him. The whole of high school went smoothly. Except for him, everyone knew about our relationship. Unfortunately, we still separated in college. I didn't want to trap him in one place because of my feelings. He deserved to go to a wider world. In order for him to see me, I agreed to enter the entertainment industry with a talent scout. Later, he came back. This time, I'm going to bring back the dog that belongs to me. The end. Completed.